Hi guys! So you saw in one of our previous videos that we have this new program that we're going to be doing with food literacy. Thanks to our Dollar General Corporation grant that we received this summer. So before we actually had the programs, we wanted to give you a little taste of what that might entail. So the first thing that we're going to start with today is we're gonna learn how to cook some eggs. Now, this isn't necessarily a how-to video at home, but we want to show you what, if you sign up for one of these programs, what you will actually be doing. So as you saw in our previous video, all of our kits have all of the cooking utensils that we're going to need, and you'll get to actually have one of those at your station and do the cooking yourself. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you how one of those programs might go. Okay, so today we're going to make scrambled eggs. One of my favorite things, and a great thing to start with because it's pretty easy. Kind of hard to screw up, which is always good to start with when you're doing your very first kind of cooking. All right, so you can see all of our supplies here. I've got my induction cooktop here. You probably are used to a regular stove at home, but they work similarly. Of course, we've got some eggs, we've got some butter. I chose to bring some cheese with me, and salt and pepper. You'll also need a frying pan, a small bowl, or even like a coffee mug or something like that, a whisk, and a spatula. And we should be good to go. So the first thing that we're gonna do, sit that there and get out of the way. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crack our eggs in the bowl. So today I'm gonna be making 4 eggs. You can choose how many you want yourself. I'm just gonna crack them here. There we go. You don't need to have a lot of force with your eggs. We need to make sure as we're cracking the eggs that we don't get any shells down in the bowl, because I don't know about you, but if I'm eating my nice fluffy scrambled eggs, the last thing I want is some crunchy shell bits thrown in there. Yuck. There we go. And we'll also be talking a lot about food safety. So one thing when you're dealing with eggs is raw eggs, and anything that includes raw eggs can include some germs like salmonella or other things that can make us sick. So what we want to do is once we're done cracking our eggs, before we do anything else, we want to go wash our hands. So we make sure we don't get any sicknesses related to raw eggs. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, now that I've washed my hands, we're ready to go. So I've got my eggs in my bowl here, and then I'm gonna take my whisk and we're gonna mix everything together. You're just gonna whisk it right together. Can you see that? We wanna make sure everything is mixed together. This is another really important tip and trick that we will practice in our programs, is we don't wanna like go crazy mixing, because we wanna make sure everything stays in the bowl. So we're gonna be doing small circles, just like this. You can practice at home if you're helping your parents or whoever you live with make some eggs at home. Small, quick circles, and that'll get all those eggs nice and mixed up, just like this. And you know what? All of that care, and I think I just saw a little bit of eggshell in my eggs. Ugh. Even the best of us, guys, even the best of us. Okay, so that's all nice and mixed up really good. I'm gonna turn on my cooktop now to get it going and heat it up. You'll notice that it's got a little fan that goes with it. Induction cooktops are a little bit different than like a stove that you're used to at home. But they're still really great. We can use them inside, just like this, and it's really simple. So that's gonna start heating up. I'm taking extra care not to touch the pan because it is hot, but I'm holding my hand there to make sure we are heating up well. And we are. I think I'm gonna turn it down one level. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit of butter into my pan. I've got them cut into some little pieces that are about this big. I'm gonna add a couple of those into my pan. And that's gonna start melting pretty quickly. I'm gonna take my spatula and start kind of helping it out just a little bit. Move it around and help it melt just a little bit. There we go. Get that whole bottom of the pan covered so it's nice, so the eggs won't stick to the pan. That's always really important. Nobody wants sticky eggs. All right. There we go. Once it's all melted up, we're gonna let that sit for just 1 second longer. Okay, now the most fun part of scrambled eggs, in my opinion, is pouring the eggs into the pan. Once again, it takes a little bit of skill, but we're gonna pour right in. And this is something, remember, everything that you see me doing, kids, is something that you'll get to do yourself if you come to one of these programs. So we want to empower you to learn how to do some of your own cooking and learn about food and food safety. So it's really important that you can do part of it yourself. Okay, so, you can already see my eggs are starting to firm up. They're not all liquid anymore. You want to make sure that you keep your spatula moving around here, so we can make sure our eggs don't stick to the bottom or get too done in a certain place. There we go. One thing that I like to add to my scrambled eggs is salt and pepper. I also sometimes add a little bit of milk, which is really good. You can add that as you're mixing in your bowl, but I like to add the salt and pepper directly in the pan. I like mine kind of salty. Also add a little bit of pepper here, because pepper is also yummy, yummy in scrambled eggs. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's starting to smell so good. And the last thing I'm gonna add, and scrambled eggs are really fun because you can pretty much just add whatever you like in it. It's kind of like an omelet. I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese, because eggs are so good for you. They're such a good source of protein. But so is cheese. Cheese is an excellent source of protein and dairy. So we're just gonna kind of fold that in. The cheese will melt as it heats up inside those eggs. And once again, we're gonna keep stirring, And I like my scrambled eggs to be fluffy and really scrambled. I don't like huge chunks, so I like to kind of go like this. And that helps make them in a little bit smaller pieces, so you don't just have like huge chunks of eggs. You can kind of see all that cheese is melting in, nice and yummy. Now, personal preference. How do you like your scrambled eggs? Do you like them a little bit more runny? Do you like them nice and fluffy? The great thing about eggs is that you can cater almost to everybody's taste. So I like my eggs nice and fluffy. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't like them real runny. It's totally okay if you do. Everybody has their own personal preference, and that's what makes us unique and different. All right, I think my eggs are done. Here we go. Turn that off. And there we go, guys, scrambled eggs. I forgot to bring a fork in here with me to taste, but let's see if I can have a taste real quick. Very good. And just think, if you sign up and come to one of our programs, we might be making eggs, we might be making something different, who knows? But by the end of it, you'll be able to cook your own meal, and you'll be able to know how it can help your body stay healthy, and all those good things. So we look forward to seeing you at one of our food programs soon. See ya.